everybody. I was putting together your prereq quiz today, and I realized there's a neat little Excel trick that you might want to check out to help you with this question in here. It's going to have 100 numbers, and I figure I'll use the exact same 100 numbers that we used in the last quiz. So let me grab the web window over here. Here's the quiz from last week. The next one's going to be based off of, essentially. So for this particular question, you had to do the percent of numbers that's greater than 50. Okay, so we'll answer that question using Excel, using a couple pretty cool commands. So all I did was I linked, I went to the schedule page and popped open the prereq quiz for you. Okay, so here's some neat ways to use Excel to help you do this, because I heard a bunch of people in class saying, I wish I had counted right, I counted them wrong. So one way to get around that is to left click and highlight the entire batch of numbers. You've now selected everything. Now before you left click again, right click, okay, copy them. Now open up Excel, okay, blank document, and paste them, Control V. Now what just happened was, and this will vary depending on what format your original document was in, it pasted everything into 10 rows, but all the data is dropped into the first column. So essentially everything's in column A, and it's separated by spaces. So whereas your original document had, let's see, where is it, right here, 36, 77, 19, 54, 8, your new Excel document, all those numbers are in column A. So this is a neat feature called text to columns. Sorry, Kenneth Harris. You go over here to Data tab, Text to Columns. Now, it says, this is where it gets a little bit techie, but it's not that big of a deal because you're probably most often going to use delimited, which means there are certain things between the data that you want to put into columns. So I'm going to hit delimited, I'm going to hit next. Now notice right now, it shows your data down here. It's giving you a preview of your data, and the fact that you don't see any vertical lines means that everything's in one column. And it says delimiters. Delimiter is just a fancy word for separator. What is separating the data? Well, in your data, it's spaces. Aha! So when you see space, all of a sudden, boom, 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 they're all in their own columns. And if you press finish, aha! This is what you want. You want all the data in their own cells. This is perfect, absolutely perfect. Okay? So that's step one, is getting the stuff out of a PDF file into an Excel spreadsheet. Step two is now counting up how many data values there are, and then answering the question, what percent are greater than 50, I believe it was. I'm going to go check that again to make sure I read that right. Yep, what percent is greater than 50? All right, back to Excel. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to count all these data. There's two ways you can do that. One is to select them in Excel, like that, which is what I just did right there. I highlighted and selected them all. Now, if you follow my cursor down here, it gives you a little count, all right? And it counted 100 data cells that actually have things in them. And that is one way to do it, and that's fantastic. But that doesn't help you if you need to use that in a function. So what I'm going to do is in this cell right here, I'm going to type in N for the number of data cells, and in this cell next to it, please realize that's just me keeping track of you know what? Just delete that. We'll just keep track of it in our minds. In this cell, we're going to type equals, and then the command COUNT for count, left parentheses, and then draw a rectangle around all that data. Right parentheses, enter, boom, 100. So there are 100 data points in that rectangle. Perfect. So that makes the math easier, because the question was what percent. So it's going to be whatever the number is, point whatever the number is, divided by 100. In the cell directly above it, we're going to use what's called the count if statement. This is a pretty slick little Excel trick. Equals COUNTIF, count if. Now this is cool. Left parentheses, select your data value. And I use this one all the time in your guys' class. You'll see this more and more as we go through. Comma, okay, now check this out. when you want to count in that cell, and you want to count it if it satisfies a certain condition. Now, follow with me here. Quotes greater than 50, close quotes. So I just typed the condition is greater than 50. Quotes greater than 50. Close it off, press enter, boom. There are 54 values in this chart that are larger than 50. So your percentage would be 54%. And I hope that helps you speed up the second prereq quiz. And it really will make it easier for you guys not to have to worry about missing one or missing two. Cool. So we'll catch you guys in class.